We acknowledge the traditional owners of the land on which we record this podcast.
Always was, always will be Aboriginal land.
Okay. All right, I'll podcast now.
Beautiful.
Sorry, guys.
Do we need to say, like, hello, welcome to Gringos? Because I feel like we just have started talking every other time.
You know what? You saying it just then, that's the intro.
Done. It sounds probably a little bit staged, but that's fine. It's fine. It's all good.
It's fine. Yeah, we're good.
Lovely.
Hi, guys. Welcome back. Today's episode is episode 2 from the Arbonne episodes. Wow. Well, now that I know that we're recording, I can't talk, obviously.
English.
In my English accent. Today, children, we're returning to Arbonne. Episode 1, well, for you guys was 2 weeks ago. For me, it was a solid month ago. Mm-hmm. So bear with me while I remember what the heck Arbonne is.
Me also.
And we're going to quiz Mikaela about it. So
dear.
I know, we hope that you took notes. I have it written in front of me. What do you have?
I'm not sure.
Well, it's okay. I won't ask you too much.
Okay, let's try.
So
Fine.
Last time, little teeny tiny refresher, we discussed pyramid schemes and MLMs. Do you remember what MLM stands for?
Yes, multi-level marketing, or MLM.
You're dead right. Well done. 50 points.
Thank you.
We found out a little about Arbonne's founder. Do you remember his name?
No, but I remember that he is a he.
I'm not sure how many
I remember his origin stories, and he did have a background in makeup or in skincare, and he didn't like all the nasties that were being put into it. But unfortunately, I do not recall his name.
Okay, I'll give you some points for that.
Thank you.
His name is Petter Mork, and yes, you're right about the rest of it. And he had a wonderful quote that I don't have in front of me. Whoops. But it was something about if you make women millionaires, they'll change the world, or something like that.
That sounds vaguely familiar, yeah.
His spiel was basically, I want to make women, wow, I want to make women millionaires. It'll be the best thing ever.
Yeah.
That's a bit of a lull as to what he actually did. Anywho, we discussed a friend of mine who was involved in the lower levels of Arbonne, and we went through a few of the sort of pros and cons of the company. So today, I want us to chat about the kind of culty things that Arbonne does, and also whether you can actually make decent money. And I want to chat about the catch behind the coveted Arbonne Mercedes. Ooh.
Oh, yes, I do remember that.
Vaguely touched on it. It kind of grinds my gears a bit.
Yeah, yep. Tell me more.
All my links for this episode will, of course, be in the show notes, but I do want to add a disclaimer right now that I am not a professional or an expert in psychology or cults. I'm just an observant person that has a bit of an interest in marketing, and I don't like to be misled, and I don't like people being misleading. And so I want to stop that from happening. That's pretty much it.
Lovely.
So all I can say is I'm trying my best, but I don't want people to take what I say now as gospel. But if anyone does really like this content and wants us to keep diving deeper into things like this and psychology, I'm down for it. And I am keen to contact experts, and perhaps that could be some extra content on the YouTube channel, something like that.
Sounds good.
But for now, I hope this is a good guide. I honestly hope that if anyone is sitting on the fence wondering about joining Arbonne or a similar MLM, that this episode can kind of help tip you over to the other side, and you can invest your time in a more ethical company or look into starting your own small business. And if you do, let me know. I will be so keen to support you if you do.
Absolutely.
So in case you're like, Chloe, stop telling me what to do. I'm really keen on becoming an Arbonne consultant. Fine. You know what? I'm going to help you. This first section is dedicated to you, and let's see if this model can actually even work. So, Mikaela, I have sent you an image. If you can go back to Skype, I've sent you...
I think I opened it.
It's like a greeny, bluey, orangey...
Oh, that's right.
Like,
I opened it in
infographic.
Skype, and then I couldn't figure out how to get back to the
Interesting.
video.
Oh, no.
Okay, success. I have it here.
So this is the basic information that Arbonne has on their website. It's a bit of a pain to try to get to, but it's nicely designed, nicely structured to show you what is the Arbonne business opportunity, how you can earn an income, and then what to expect. And I'm guessing you're having a quick squiz at it right now, but I want us to look at the what's typical section, what you can expect to earn. So what are you seeing?
So what's typical, the text during 2020?
Yes.
Okay, so I've already read it 3 times because my brain was just like, what? During 2020, Arbonne paid in excess of $567 million in preferred client commissions, so I don't even know what that is, overrides and awards, together earnings to independent consultants globally, and $33 million in earnings in Australia. Oh, there you go.
So that's a pretty hefty number. It's actually pretty good.
That's a lot.
So preferred client refers to, let's say I'm a consultant. Mikaela, you can become a preferred client of mine. It, I believe, comes with a price. It's like $50 or $30 or $25, something like that. But it means that you then get a discount on anything you order with Arbonne.
Right.
It does mean that I get a lower percentage from you. So I get less percentage of commissions when you buy something. But because you're a preferred client, it is quite likely that you will buy
a lot.
More, because you get a mega good discount compared to normal people. So that's a preferred client. So if we zoom into these numbers, and I got like really into these for the sake of the podcast, because hey, no one else can see this. Let's zoom through a few of these numbers. So the first thing I will mention is that they've got 5 levels here, 5 tiers, which I suppose relate to where you sit on the pyramid.
Oh my God, wait, what? Sorry, I just realized the number of the median annual earnings for independent consultants, and that is so low. Okay, sorry, I'm jumping ahead. I'll let you go. What?
Yeah, so independent consultant being the lowest, that's where you begin your Arbonne journey. If you level up, you become a district manager, then area manager, then a regional vice president, which you might hear referred to as RVP. And the highest level is national vice president, or NVP. So as you rank up, of course, the median annual earnings and things go up here as well. So Arbonne has kept tabs, or at least shows us the annual average earnings, what the median is as well, what the top 40 average is, and what the bottom 40 average.
Oh my God, bottom 40. So
the top and 40 of each level is there. And that's pretty good because you can kind of then work out, okay, if I were to be in Arbonne, this is pretty much what I can expect to earn. Mikaela, seeing these numbers, if you became an independent consultant, could you live off that?
No freaking way. Couldn't even buy a coffee, like, if I was in the bottom 40. Jeez. Okay, so for the average annual earnings to an independent consultant, $215.
Wow.
Median earnings is $113.
Beautiful.
The top 40, so top 40 of the independent consultants is still only $2,191.
Yep.
But if you're in the bottom 40, it's $4.
Yeah. You want to know what the biggest smack in the face is about all of this?
Yeah.
That is only counting consultants that earned money.
Oh, shoot. You're so right. Oh my gosh.
It's a much bigger percentage of
people who just earned nothing or lost, essentially, because they would have had to buy all the product.
Correct. Or made a loss. So anyone in that category just isn't here. I cannot tell you what that number is.
Oh my gosh. Also, I'm just looking there at the average time to position.
Yes.
Far out.
Yes.
I mean,
so also along the wow, I can't say anything. Along the grid, along the levels, it says the average time to reach a position. And so to get from an independent consultant to a district manager, roughly about 7 months. Actually, my friend did it within, I think, 2 months.
Oh, wow.
Which I think is just if you've got enough friends that are keen, you just sign them up. And I think you have to make a minimum amount of money through selling products yourself to rank up. But I'm not 100% on that.
Sorry, I was just looking at the note.
Yes.
Oh
do you want to go ahead and read it?
Okay, so note. These figures do not represent Arbonne independent consultants' profits, as they do not include expenses such as renewal fees, event registration, travel, office supplies, insurance premiums, etc., incurred by Arbonne independent consultants in the promotion of their businesses. There are no guarantees regarding earnings, and the success or failure of each Arbonne independent consultant, like any other business, depends on your own skills and personal effort. You should not rely on the results of other, I'm going to skip that and just say consultants, to indicate what you could expect to earn. Oh my gosh, what about the bottom 40 people who earned $4, but not really because they had to pay all these fees.
Yeah, that's exactly right as well,
Far
because
out.
to join, I think it's like $75.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if that means that after spending that $75, these people then made $4, or if it means in total they made $79, like they got back the initial fee. But I'm assuming they're just counting like, no,
Yeah.
you're a consultant now, and from zero you've made $4.
Oh my gosh. Like, it's so funny that they even put that on that table there with all that data. Like, I feel like there's a fair amount of numbers and stuff in there that you could easily skip the bottom one and just look at the top and be like, oh my gosh, I could make this much. But like, really?
Well, this isn't necessarily like 100% transparent. There's a lot more that I would like to see.
Absolutely.
But Arbonne, at least in MLM standards, is better because it shows you something.
Mm-hmm.
The stakes are that low.
Yeah.
That this is really good.
Wow.
So I want to actually look at the very top, the national vice presidents. The average annual earning for them is $221,760. Wow. Can I read?
You're close. 221,776.
Thank you. My brain couldn't say that 70. And the median being 194,311. That one came out great.
That came good.
You might notice that the two columns next to that are empty, indicating that there aren't even 40 people in Australia at this level.
Yeah.
So there is no top 40 or bottom 40, therefore that's just blank.
Yeah.
And it took an average of 60 months to reach that position.
That's too much time.
It's a lot of time. And who knows how much they made every single year and month before that to get to this point where they're earning, $200K a year. And that's a really great income.
Oh, yeah.
But it's not exactly
That's 5 years, though.
what-
Yes, I just had to calculate. Sorry.
Good job.
5 years.
Yeah. Look, if I had to keep working in my job and thought in 5 years' time it'll be worth it because I'm making 200,000, that sounds okay.
Yeah.
But only because I currently have a job where I'm earning,
Not quite
still
that.
50,000 or 60,000.
Yeah.
Like, not, oh, yeah, you'll get there in 5 years, but for now you're going to make $4.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be like, oh, great. That's fine. I'll leave.
Exactly. But how are you going to be able to do anything for $4? That means, too, that, like, yes, you might have your own small business, but you're also going to have to work a different job to be able to live, which means that you don't have enough time to necessarily put in all the work and the time and the effort to be able to grow to that figure.
Yeah. So if you don't have all the time in your life to dedicate to that, you are much, much, much less likely to get there. You're absolutely right. Yeah, so it takes 60 months to get there, 5 years. Well done on that maths, because I hadn't bothered working that out. But I want to take you back to that quote from PETA saying making women millionaires is going to change the world. Mikaela, is $221,000 a million?
No. Also, it may be even less than that because it does not include expenses.
No, it doesn't include tax.
True.
Doesn't include paying into your own superannuation if you're in Australia. Doesn't include any of that. And it might be that Arbonne, it gives you some sort of education about that process, but I've heard that a lot of MLMs kind of leave that out. So I'm not gonna go one way or the other.
Gosh.
But I really, really hope anyone who has their own business, please look into your own taxes.
Yeah.
It will bite you. They will find you.
No, tax time actually makes me anxious. I'm just like, please help me, accountant, please.
Yeah. Well, how were you with your small business before?
Yeah, I went to an accountant.
Good idea.
I paid, and like last year I did it myself online because I hadn't really sold anything. I wasn't actively working on it. And I feel like I got like a $7 refund or something, and I was like, I did something wrong.
Oh no.
Or maybe I paid all of my taxes correctly. I don't know.
Maybe
Anyway,
you did.
Yeah.
Good for you getting that.
So I got $7. It's more than the bottom
That's more
40.
than an independent consultant. Yeah, girl, you're raking it in.
Yeah, exactly.
So, note to self, just start your own small business. You'll make heaps more.
Yeah.
So, yes, look, that whole when you make women millionaires, you change the world. That was the quote. PETA, for one, it will take someone 5 years to maybe get there, and then 5 more years to actually make $1 million. And that's if they don't spend anything.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's why I kind of chortle at that little quote. It's like,
Chortle.
good idea, mate.
It's a nice a nice thing in theory.
Yeah, precisely. So, look, I want to look at the everyday earnings because I've done a bit of maths on this. I'm very proud of myself. I might have gone a bit wrong.
That's
But we're
fine,
recording
but
a
we
podcast
tried,
right now.
right? It's just every step makes a difference, every little bit.
Okay, so I did the maths. Let's say you want to do this full time. Not everyone wants to do that, of course, but you do. You want to earn a full-time salary selling Arbonne.
Sure do.
You're not relying on recruiting anyone, so I'm not taking into account teams at this point, just product sales. If you want to work basically a 9 to 5 Monday to Friday for your Arbonne business, you need to sell about $600 worth of product every single day. So about $3,000 per week. And you don't get that $3,000, of course, Arbonne does, but you get a 35% commission on anything you sell. So that brings you in $1,050 per week before tax, before superannuation. You need to do that bit yourself. But that will earn you enough. That'll be, around $25 an hour.
What's the do you know what the average product price is? Like roughly, if you had are
Arbonne
you going into that?
Arbonne's a little bit pricey. I think things are usually between like $20 and $50.
Okay, that's a lot of product then.
Yeah, that's a lot. It's a lot to sell every single day. Good news though, Arbonne has this very nifty product. It's called the 30 Days to Healthy Living Kit. You might have seen this around. I think it's actually what they kind of use as like the first step. So if you become a consultant, and this is what my friend did actually, I believe. She was really into the idea of improving herself, her body, her mindset. She bought herself the 30 Day to Healthy Living Kit, and it comes with a whole bunch of protein powders, fizz sticks, and some other stuff. And I think it also gives you some sort of meal plans and things. That's as much as I can say about it, really. The kit itself costs $678.
Holy crap, that's a lot.
Right, because it's meant to give you enough of all of this stuff to last you for a month.
Yeah.
Well, 30 days. But you do still have to buy groceries and like feed yourself in this time, unless you want to spend extra and get another lot of like protein powders so you miss another meal. I think that's the gist of it. Not the healthiest kit, I'm going to say right now, in my opinion, not a dietitian.
Yes.
Anyway, that kit is $678.
A lot of money.
So if you sell 5 of those a week, you're done. That means if you do it yourself, that sort of marketing that you can do on Instagram, be like, hey guys, I'm feeling so happy and healthy and fresh and fierce. Oh my God, it's all thanks to the 30 Days to Healthy Living kit. You can get it yourself for only $678. So if you sell 5 of them, you'll make enough. You'll make $1,100 for yourself. And I think it's like $3,000 for Arbonne, more than that. Now, if you have preferred clients, they actually get a great deal on these kits. I'm not trying to...
I feel like
I'm an advert now.
Yeah, you're all
but
over
wait,
it.
there's more.
I might buy a healthy living kit.
So they actually get a huge discount. So usually it's $678. Preferred clients get it for $406. However, if a preferred client buys it, you only make 15% commission on them.
Oh.
So not only is it less commission, but it's less commission from less money, which means instead of those, 5 kits, there's a lot more.
Yeah, 5, yeah.
I have not done the math on how many more because I wrote down 50 before, but I feel like I'm wrong. Like
that, I don't know.
That's
I'm not really a maths-minded person, but I feel like that's a really big jump.
It's a huge jump from like 5 to 50. Like if you were just relying on that, how would I do this maths? Do you know maths?
No. Not at all.
Okay, well...
Maths makes me anxious.
So, well, look, we're going to leave it at that then, that it's
You'd have to
a
sell
lot more than 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you're jumping from making 35% on a $600 sale to 15% on a $400 sale. So you have to sell a lot more of them. And of course, if you're a person that likes a deal, you're just going to sign up as a preferred client to save yourself $250. You might not ever want another Arbonne product again, but you will do that to save $200.
I would.
Yeah. And then if that person's a preferred client, of course, then you only make 15% of them for the rest of their sort of Arbonne life, I suppose. So it suddenly gets a lot harder to make money. It seems like a really weird set of scales where Arbonne's like, yeah, you incentivize people to join and then they pay less, but then you get less.
Yeah.
Yay!
It doesn't really make sense.
It doesn't really work out for you.
No.
But 100% works out for Arbonne.
That's true. It does make sense, that sense.
I want to quickly go back. I think I mentioned this last week, but Arbonne, I sound like a bitch when I say this, but honestly, it's Arbonne being the bitch. They have made it so they really do not care about you. Not as a customer, they care about you as a customer, but as a consultant, as someone basically working for them, they make it so that they do not have to care about you one bit. You can be a massive failure and they won't lose anything because you get, I believe, a 35% discount on products as a consultant, which is the exact amount of commission Arbonne expects you to get from a product. Which, look, I might not be explaining that well, but Arbonne knows that they will basically never get 35% of what that product's price is. So it's already worked out in their business plan that that's money they don't get. The product is basically 35% cheaper in their mind, because that's the money they get.
Yeah, that's essentially they've worked in the cost of the product so that you can get that payment commission without them affecting their bottom line.
There we go. That was a much better sentence. Thank you.
No, well, I got it from your explanation, so.
Oh, good. But yeah, it means like you can totally fail and it just doesn't affect them. Not one bit. It's totally fine. They don't have to care about you. But look, I feel like if Arbonne were to completely do over with the whole MLM side of their business, because apart from that, they apparently have decent products. I think they're all vegan, but I could be wrong. Definitely all cruelty-free. Like, they could do okay. They're a B Corp. They look fine apart from the MLM part.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's only the consultants that are buying things.
Well, yeah. I mean, I feel like I don't know anyone who's actually just bought product themselves. I only know of people who have tried to sell it.
Yeah.
So,
or people that have bought from the sellers because it's a friend or a family
they're
member.
like, oh, I'll support you. I'll help you out. And then they're like,
Yeah. Well, this is probably a great time to jump into some Facebook comments that I got. So I asked Facebook what they thought about Arbonne specifically. So I'll read out just a few of the really quick ones, and then I want you to dive into the long ones because I'll lose my voice. Goodness. There's one that just says, friends don't let friends join MLMs. I like that.
I like that too.
Great products, shit scam for sellers.
Oh.
They're pretty good products, but agree with others saying it's just another MLM. I used to use their mascara, but then I was constantly harassed to join.
Oh.
Oopsie.
So yeah, you could like the product, but it's like, I don't necessarily want to join.
Yeah, if you're going to be badgered about it that much, I'm not surprised.
No.
Especially, it's a very stereotypical opinion of British people, but as a British person, I agree with it. We don't want to be bothered. Like, the Lush stores in the UK are like the most hyped place, honestly, and it makes you uncomfortable to be there because people are really friendly, and
yeah, it's like almost too
we
much.
don't like that. We're like, hey, can I help you? Like, please don't help me. Like, look, when I need you, I won't ask then either, but please don't come over.
I'll hide in the corner and wish that I could come and ask you a question, but just don't come near me.
Don't come over. I'll leave a terrible review that you were really friendly and I don't like it. Okay, so I would like you to read the one that I've got in green here. This is actually a comment from the admin of the group I posted in.
Okay, yes. So they say, it's a scam. People think they have a business and will be successful. I had some friends get involved with this shit and it was like a cult. They were young, in their early 20s maybe, and were convinced that they would be able to retire in maybe 10 years as this business was going to make them rich. Trying to tell them otherwise cost us the friendship, and she was always trying to sell me stuff. Once I asked for recommendations on skincare, either here or in another group, and I had 2 people offer to send me samples. I took them, and although one was fine, the other harassed me to buy. I said I couldn't afford it and was offered a payment plan. What? She was so pushy. I have a very negative view of any multi-level marketing. Sure, some people can make a few bucks from it, but people get sucked in and buy expensive kits and demo products, then just harass their friends and family to buy the stuff. I'm not the only person I know to lose friends because I didn't want to buy products from them. We have actually banned any promotion of MLM products in this group, so if anyone even recommends Arbonne, the comment gets removed. All of the admins hate MLM.
Woo.
Damn. What? I can't believe they have a payment plan. That's so... No. That's so
payment
wrong.
plans are so common now.
But not for skincare or makeup that you can't afford, and you blatantly tell them that you can't afford it. Like, I mean, I guess it's like Zip Pay and Afterpay and stuff. They're essentially payment plans, but...
Yes, and I believe Arbonne even uses them now.
There you go.
At the time, maybe not. But
yeah.
I believe I've seen videos where, you know, these people from higher up talk to those below, you know, big video call conference things. And I've definitely heard the phrase of like, no doesn't mean no.
Oh, right.
And like to keep pushing and be like, everyone does have enough money. It's not that much for a lipstick. If it's not from this, can your husband, like, can you ask for it from your husband or from your mum?
Oh my God.
It's okay because we can offer a payment plan, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So like, even if the consultant feels awkward about it, they've been told, don't worry, it's fine. No doesn't mean no. These are these other ways, and then you're much more likely to get a sale, and they'll be happy with their product. You'll be happy with the commission. It'll be great in the end.
Do you know what it kind of reminds me of? Like, I don't know the guy's name, plus I wouldn't want to give him any attention. But it's that guy who was going around doing like dating workshops, and they were like super aggressive and like all these one-liners and stuff that, like, trying to pick up people in the streets, and it was like hectic.
Uh-oh.
But I don't know who it is, so I'm not giving
Wow.
them the attention, but like it just reminds me of that. And it was pretty much, I think, because no doesn't always mean no.
Yeah.
And I was like,
yeah.
"Ooh."
No means not yet. Ooh.
Yeah. Yikes.
Ask me another way.
Goodness me.
Yeah. Yeah. So this one from the admin, that goes over so much of like the norm of what I've heard when people have had a bad experience of they've lost friends over it. And honestly, like me and my friend that were in it, we didn't talk much while she was an active part of Arbonne. She kind of dived in and had a great time. And then when she kind of was like, okay, I'm bored.
Yeah.
Then it was like, hey.
Hey girl, how you doing?
Hey girl. How was it over there?
Oh my gosh.
But
That's
yeah,
crazy.
I feel like there was a decent amount of indoctrination, but like not, you know, not deep, not awful, but still you could tell that there was a change within her and that she sort of was a hun for a bit.
Oh yeah. Hey hun.
Hey hun.
Oh no.
And that whole saying of they thought they'd be able to retire in 10 years. Uh-oh. I mean, we've just looked at all the money, financial side of things. No, you won't.
Yeah, exactly. That's crazy. But it's like such a common thing. Like people, even nowadays, like people are like, oh, I'm going to become a YouTuber and I'm going to become famous and then I'm going to be able to retire. But it's like realistically, the amount of people who can succeed in that career, of course people can succeed. You might not necessarily become a millionaire, but you could potentially make a decent amount of money. Maybe as much as you're making in your normal day job, but the very select few who do make the millions, it's like minimal.
Yes.
I just, and there's also people who just make, like me, like I just make videos for fun. I haven't even got like 1,000 subscribers, but it's something I enjoy, so I'm like,
Yeah.
So then there's people like that who spend more money on things than actually make money, but that's fine.
And we just do it because we enjoy it.
Yeah.
Great if you did earn money from it, but it is a stupidly small amount of people that like are an overnight success. There's a larger percentage of people who look like it's an overnight thing, but they're like, excuse me, I've been doing this for 5 years. Suddenly something went viral and I'm here now.
Yeah, exactly.
Like there's a small amount of that, and fantastic that it finally happened for people. Like Simply Nailogical, I believe she exploded in popularity because of like she did like 100 coats of nail polish.
Yeah, that's the one. I think I was
Nail
watching her
polish
before
mountain.
that. Yeah.
Oh, she's so good. And now that I kind of semi have nails now, I'm thinking about buying some of her nail polish because it's all vegan.
I have it. It's so good.
Yay!
It lasts forever. I mean, here's just like a little plug for Hollow Taco.
Love you, Justine.
So I'm like, I've bought a few sets, and now I'm like, now that my hands are so gross and stuff from work, I can't really wear that nail polish that much because it lasts like a couple days, if even. But yeah, I would highly recommend.
So the comment that was directly underneath the one from the admin said, you reminded me of the nail stickers selling person. She was so pushy, awful. And that reminded me of the fact that all of these MLMs usually have a really good message. And they target people that want to either spread, I guess, like clean beauty like this, or like nutrition, like things that make people's lives better, healthier. And therefore, it's really easy to think this is an amazing thing that I'm involved in.
Definitely.
And therefore, it's communities like ours that see a lot of it and that it's aimed at.
Absolutely.
And if you don't have yourself screwed on, then it's like, oh, wow, this is just another really cool brand. Why not?
Yeah.
I didn't know what Arbonne was at first.
At a glance, you're like, oh, this is great.
Yeah, and the fact that, oh my gosh, they're saying I can be part of their business. How cool is that? They've done the hard yards. They've made all these products. I can just make money selling them.
Yeah.
Yay.
Exactly.
Yay. No.
No.
Did you go through any of the other comments and see if there are some others?
So the next person says, the product itself is irrelevant when you are the actual product. MLMs aren't about empowering women, only exploiting. I've seen a few friends gone down that road and none have done anything but burn relationships and buy product that they can't sell. Absolute sham, and shame on the people who run this and ruin people's lives in the name of profit.
Yeah.
Damn.
The more I learn about it, the more I agree with, like, shame on the people that run this.
Exactly. Oh, this next one. I bought Arbonne vegan protein powder twice from a friend, then discovered it in Aldi for 1/5 of the price. She kept messaging me, telling me I was the perfect person to join because I was so interested in health and well-being. When I said no to that idea, I kept getting messages which always started with, I love your adventure, travel with your family, and always ended with, do you need more protein powder? I haven't heard from her since she realised I stopped ordering.
Lol.
Oop, oop, oop.
Don't you just love those friendships that are just them trying to sell you protein powder?
Yeah, what the hell? But you're right, it always starts off with something like, oh my gosh, like how's this? How's your, I don't know, how's your family? I saw you did this. By the way, here's a link to purchase my product. That's not mine.
There was such a good comment. I was like, okay, so last time I got so deep into the world of MLMs and Arbonne, I was watching all these videos and someone posted a screenshot because someone from a MLM, I don't know which, basically posted a comment to someone saying, hey hun, and then in brackets it said,
oh, insert name.
Yeah, insert name, ask them how they are, like something to do with them, then say a bit about you and the fact that you've started your like new business opportunity, and then like go into the spiel, and the person replies like, hey, I think you were meant to delete that part.
Oh no, that's so
and then
embarrassing.
The person literally is like, oh whoops, lol, didn't mean to do that. Anyways, how are you?
Oh my gosh. But then now you know
the
it's
whole
so
thing anyway.
empty. It's so empty.
Yeah.
Like they don't care. They don't care how are you. They're just messaging all their friends lists hoping to get someone to catch a bite.
Yeah, I've heard of a certain system where they ask you to make a list of 100 people that you know, and to basically just go down that list and to ask anyone on that list. Be like, hi, how are you? Blah, blah, blah. I've started this business.
You just brought something up in me that I totally forgot about. It was years ago now, like probably maybe 8 years ago. I joined the gym.
Yeah.
And
revelation.
No, like they were so shit and they were so rude. But I joined the gym. I won't say the name of it, but they're a big chain and bad. And they were like, oh, fill in this list. I think it was 5 people or 10 people. Stop getting distracted by your lovely lava lamp.
Sorry, it's really nice.
Just, like, gaze off into the distance. And I'm like, hey.
Guilty.
But yeah, they had this list and they were like, if you fill out, it must have been 5 people's contacts, their name and their phone number, will give you this free goodie bag. And it was like a backpack and a towel and like a drink bottle or something. So I signed up my friends. And they didn't know that I signed them up, but they all got calls. And it actually happened to me probably a year ago. And my friend had just moved back to the town that I used to live in. And she joined the gym. And I get a call from this gym. They're like, oh hi, Mikaela. We're just checking now if you'd like to, you know, join the gym. And I was like, I don't live anywhere near that area anymore. Like, you're wasting your time. And they're like, oh, right. Oh, okay. I was like, leave me alone. It's like, to my friend, did you get free stuff?
Oh, the things we will do for free stuff.
Oh, I know.
Hey, I tagged you in a competition today.
Yeah, but they just have my Instagram handle. They don't have my phone number.
That's true. And they're not going to message you afterwards being like, oh,
hey, buy my stuff. Yeah.
Join my gym. Yeah, exactly. Buy my stuff. It totally is different because a competition on Instagram is like, you tag your friends and yes, there are friends that will not be interested. Yeah. We all have them and our, you know, ourselves.
Yes.
Because we each have 3 Instagrams each, let's be real.
Is that allowed then, actually? Can we tag ourselves?
I'd
Fine.
say it
I'll just
shouldn't
tag your
be
3
allowed.
accounts, and you can tag my 3 accounts.
There we go. Deal.
Done.
Like, technically, that's fine.
Yep.
Green girls, maybe not.
No, that one's staying out of it unless we're running a competition ourselves.
Oh, true. Yeah, but we can't win it.
No, but we can tag people in it and hope that they share it with their friends.
Yeah, okay. All right, we'll do that.
It's okay. We're not signing you up to anything. Don't worry.
Well,
Maybe.
if someone gets a call from the gym now. Like,
Yeah. Shit.
It's those green girls.
Oops.
I feel like I was going somewhere with that, but I'm going to totally leave it where it was.
Yeah. It does look
So
like
let's-
going through. Sorry to cut you off. There
for
is
it.
a couple of good-ish comments.
All right, show me the goodish.
Now I've lost it.
Was it good and then promptly not good?
No. Okay, so there's like one. I once bought a few skincare things and once won a few in a contest. They were fine to use, but it's better to stay away from MLMs. I guess that's not great, but it's like, fine, they were fine. And then
Yeah.
someone else says, I loved the products and they agreed with my skin, but they are ridiculously expensive. MLM model is awful and cult-like, so I won't buy it. And then
There you go.
on to say, I did at one point because I felt sorry for the jobless person I purchased from. But eventually I just noped right out of it.
Just noped right out of there.
No.
Oh, I love that. That seems to be a really common thread about, look, I felt bad for the
Yeah.
person, so I bought it. Then they bothered me and I stopped buying things. Or the product was good, but I hated being hassled. And
Yeah.
it's really frustrating knowing that they basically have this like 35% wiggle room on all their prices. They could take that away
Yeah.
and be more affordable products and not
Potentially
be an
even
MLM.
sell more product just to the general consumer, like not have this whole level of
Yeah.
marketing.
At this point, Arbonne, I would love if you did do that. However, I think that in the boycott culture that we have now, every single Arbonne consultant who would have had their business stripped away from them because they'd realize, oh my goodness, I actually never had a business. I got to sell products on behalf of this one. Like, everything they were earning would be gone overnight. They'd be at square one again. And I could see a massive
true.
boycott of Arbonne happening.
Yeah,
Like,
definitely.
All of their main customer base would be totally gone because they would not want to stay loyal to that brand anymore.
Not at all. That's a
they're-
very good point.
I'd say Arbonne's between a rock and a hard place of
Yeah. Just stick
it doesn't
out.
sound like you can be an ethical MLM.
No.
And if they stop, they'll probably crumble.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
That's my current verdict. Okay, I want to quickly touch on the car and then we're going to get into the culty goodness.
Okay.
Here's the catch behind the Arbonne Mercedes. Number 1, you need to have reached a certain rank within Arbonne. And I believe in the list, it's like either the NVP or the one just below it, like the top 2 ranks you need to hit. You also then, number 2, have to get a very specific Mercedes that's white and has the Arbonne logo across it in, I think, 3 different places. So you need to be repping Arbonne 24/7. Number 3, you then have to have met pretty high sales targets every month. And if you fail to do that, Arbonne will not pay for the car that month.
What? Oh.
Yeah. So the car is in your name, but if you meet your quota, Arbonne will pay a certain amount of money to you. I don't know if it even covers the full cost of the car each month,
Oh
but
my
they'll
God.
foot the bill a certain amount.
Right. See, I always thought it was like, yeah, you did this. Wow, amazing. Here's a car. But it's like, now we've just
Yeah.
put this, I don't know, how much is a Mercedes? Like
A
$60,000 car in
Yeah.
your name, and you have to make the payments. And if you don't meet your sales targets, we won't assist you. Is that what I
Correct.
gathered correctly?
That's it. And it's not like you get a month to sort of make it up or anything. It's
Yeah.
you've done worse this month. You have less money this month, and now you have even less because you have to pay for the car yourself.
That's stressful.
It's like one thing on top of the other, and that's what I really don't like about this car. But there's so much status attached to this car. Yeah, status is a great word for it actually, because you've probably spent 5 years apparently to get to this point where you can get the car. You've seen people on Instagram being like, oh my goodness, I've worked so hard, I've got the car, wow, 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 wow. So you want that car as well. That is a sign to everyone that you've made it. You can do that
Absolutely.
post saying like, such and such for marketing didn't believe in me, screw you, I've made it, you know? Like
Yeah.
that car is like, hello world, here I am.
Absolutely.
You can make it as an Arbonne representative. And they're like, haha, yeah, but Arbonne won't help you the minute you don't make any money.
But that's terrifying. So then what if you're, I mean, I don't know how, I assume it's like a car lease or it's financed or something, which means you're locked into a contract. So if you then default on that or can't pay the rest of your loan, then what?
Yeah. It sounds like a really stressful situation to be in. And if you are locked in, that locks you into Arbonne as well by pretty much default.
Yeah, I don't want an Arbonne car. Fuck that.
So that's all I'll say about the car. That's all you need to know, is that it's a terrible
Agreed.
idea. But if you are in Arbonne, I totally understand why you want it. But please don't get it.
No. Goodness.
Okay. Welcome to the cult section of today's podcast. We've made it. Well done, guys. And I'm kicking off with this great quotato that I found in a YouTube video. The guy that made this. Yes, look, it's a thing now. From James Johnny. He had a really good video. It's all about multi-level marketing. And so I want to kick off with this quote. It's a little bit long, but bear with me.
Sure.
I just thought it was brilliant, and it will be linked because the whole video was pretty great. Yeah, I figured it's a good way to introduce the section because we're going to get a bit more psychological. I don't know. I'm trying to be like moody about it, but I get so happy when I podcast with you. Okay.
We're like, haha, cults. Yeah. Sorry, I am distracting.
It's fine. I've got a lava lamp over here. You talking to me. How can I not be distracted?
Yes.
Here we go. This is all about MLMs. I feel like I need to preface it because he's like, when the opportunity is presented to you, like the opportunity is an MLM. All right. When the opportunity is presented to you, when you're told that your dreams can be achieved faster than you think, that wealth is not far away as you think it is, that financial freedom is yours for the taking, when these things are dangled in front of you like a carrot on a stick, when it sounds too good to be true, but believing otherwise means losing hope, why would you refuse? But it's important to pay close attention, because when a pyramid scheme or a cult is presented to you, it will not reveal itself as such. It will come wrapped in a well-decorated packaging with a pretty bow on top, disguised as $1 million opportunity. Disguised as a way to work when you like and set your family free financially. When it presents itself to you, it will not come dressed in the robes of an unfamiliar character. It will come dressed as your best friend, your neighbor, someone you admire, someone you love. Its message will be that of hope, and that of all you've ever wanted. It will come disguised as anything and everything but that of which it actually is.
Oof. Damn.
And that is a multi-level marketing scheme.
Jesus.
In case that was unclear, but James Downey he did great with that quote, so I really wanted to put it in there and plug his video a bit.
Absolutely. I might watch that one.
It's a good warning for those that might be interested, might already be involved, or think that their friend or family is involved in multi-level marketing, so that you know what to reach out for. So let's dive into it. And I've got some quotes here from study.com saying what is a cult. Sure. Because I'm saying these culty things about Arbonne, and I'm being careful to not call Arbonne a cult, because in my opinion, from reading things, I don't think it is, but they do do some kind of culty stuff. They have some
similar characteristics.
Yeah, so I'm just going to dive straight into this next one, or the podcast really won't ever end. So what is a cult? A cult is a group with a particular and often dangerously fanatical ideology that has certain characteristics. The term cult comes from the Latin cultus. This is reasonable. A cult must have a leader who is either worshipped or greatly revered by the cult's followers. A specific cult definition can be hard to pin down because in order to be a cult, a group must have a number of attributes. People often disagree what makes a cult, meaning that definition is really fluid. This is especially true in the context of new religious movements. Some of these movements have been called cults, while some people have argued against this for a variety of reasons. It's easier generally to get to grips with the characteristics of a cult than to create a single all-encompassing definition. So if you're following along, I'd like us to go through these characteristics of cults.
So characteristics of a cult. We've got, do you want me to go from the expert section or the first dot point?
Nah, it's fine. Look, experts have said these 8 things are characteristics of a cult.
Okie dokie. So first dot point is a charismatic leader. So cults always follow a charismatic leader, living or dead, whose teachings are considered of the highest importance. This leader may be considered a genius or may be considered a religious figure, like a messiah or a prophet.
Good job. See, I don't think Arbonne is an MLM that has a charismatic leader. Like, no. Peter Mork was probably a bit of an icon in his time, but he is no longer with us.
Yeah.
And I don't know much about his son. I believe his son is who currently runs Arbonne.
Mm-hmm.
So there's no leader. So we can't give Arbonne a tick for this one.
Nope.
The next one here is ideological purity. Members are strongly discouraged from questioning the cult's doctrine, and any doubts are met with shame or punishment.
Mm.
Now, I'm on the fence with this one, honestly, because I kind of think it depends who in Arbonne you know. I've heard certain people in all kinds of MLMs, but in Arbonne specifically, there are some people who can get shunned if they don't share the same thoughts, or if they leave, everyone that they know within Arbonne is told you should delete them, you can't talk to them anymore. And that's usually if they are saying something bad about Arbonne.
Of course.
And there's very much a sort of hive mind of everything's great, everything's fun.
Yeah, don't focus
sort
on
of
the negatives.
mentality.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure if there was a blatant lie, like the sky's green, people would probably be like, not sure about that.
No. Next one is apocalyptic thinking. So preparation for a supposed apocalypse or cataclysmic event is a major characteristic of many cults, especially cult religions. That was a lot of fun words to say, cataclysmic.
I really didn't think cataclysmic or apocalypse would be featured on Green Girls.
No, there you go.
Here we are.
How to have a ethical apocalypse.
Oh my gosh. That is a great blog article. Let's do one on like how to be eco-friendly during a zombie apocalypse.
Sounds great.
Here are my eco-friendly swaps.
Oh gosh.
So I don't think there's much apocalyptic thinking in Arbonne.
No, I don't think so.
We're good. The next one here is mind-altering practices, and that could mean sleep deprivation, chanting, meditation, and drugs often used to break down individuals' defenses and make them more susceptible to cult ideology.
Right.
And look, I mean, Arbonne sells protein powders, but I don't think...
maybe there's something sneaky.
Maybe there's something in those fizz sticks.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, this one I've kept as probably not quite for Arbonne. But this is, I think, where things get a little bit more fishy.
Okay, so conformity and control. Cult leaders often exercise an extreme degree of control over members' lives, including dictating what they can wear and eat and what kind of relationships they can have. Conformity is also enforced by group members who police one another.
So we start to get into the sort of dodgy territory here. And I think this comes from just being a business as opposed to a cult, being a brand that's trying to lead all of these people that literally can pay $70 to become a rep. I understand wanting to have some sort of conformity so that your brand stays the same.
Yeah.
Across all sorts of channels. But the fact that that then extends to how these people think, like that can happen because I believe they have weekly workshops and that sort of thing.
And I know they have really big events as well.
Yes. Quite famously, they have like a white night event, which relates back to like the white car. And I think a lot of Arbonne's branding is that white, pure, no toxic ingredient vibe. I think that's what Arbonne's trying to do there. The next one we've got is isolation and love bombing. It is common for people in cults to be encouraged to cut contacts with outsiders, including close family members. Within the cult, new members are often subjected to love bombing, a practice where new initiates are showered with love and praise to bring them deeper into the cult and foster a sense of belonging. That sounds pretty great. Except for the fact that you lose friends. And we've already heard from a few people's comments today that that's a common thing that seems to happen.
Absolutely. That's very true. But I don't know if it's from the side of like this business being like, oh, you cannot be friends with family anymore. I think it's just like push. No does not mean no until the family members are like, I've had enough. Or the friends are like, stop.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
I think
so there's the side that's just your friends having enough.
Exactly.
I have seen a few posts similar to that. Is it a Marilyn Monroe quote that's like, if you can't handle me at my worst, you don't deserve me at my best? It's like there are all these things about, like I've become better and I've grown as a person and there's just not room for you in my life anymore, or like you just haven't kept up with me, or if you're not around for my success, then I don't want you, like, or you're jealous of my success.
Yeah.
So there's that narrative alongside it. But yeah, it's really common to just hear about family members getting really pissed off.
Yeah, just stop it. Leave me alone.
It's like, I hardly know you, auntie. Stop trying to sell me protein.
Exactly. Especially because I feel like you do support those people. You're like, oh, yeah, I'll just buy this one thing. And then you're like, oh, no, what have I done? And then you feel guilty to be like, oh, I don't want to buy this anymore. And then it's like...
Yeah, you've given them a little taste that's like, oh, if my family members just buy stuff from me every month, it can work. Like I have a minimum amount that I need to spend every month. And that is part of Arbonne, I believe, as well. Like you should make a certain amount every month to qualify. I think that's the right terminology. But you don't have to get that from commissions. You can just buy the products yourself and amass the points.
Oh, right. True.
Yeah. So it's like, well, I wanted to try that product anyway, and that means I can review it and people might buy it. So it's really easy to convince yourself, like, I'll just do this so that I can stay on board with Arbonne. I know it's a job that's meant to pay, but I'm going to...
buy all the things.
Or, ask if a family member will buy stuff and they might feel sorry for you and are financially able to do it. But come on, you just can't do it every month. That can't be the only reason your business lasts.
Agreed. Next one, us versus them mentality. Cult members are often encouraged to see the cult as superior to life on the outside and to feel that those outside the cult lack understanding or insight.
So this is in green for me as like a big tick, mostly because Arbonne, as well as other generic brand MLMs, as soon as you say it's a pyramid scheme, they'll like laugh at you. They'll chortle at you and be like, oh my God, no, it's not a pyramid scheme. You don't know what you're talking about, because they've had that conversation within their MLM. It's like, no, it's not a pyramid scheme because of this reason. Or they might recant back at you, well, if you think about it, you've got a boss and they've got a boss and they've got a boss, so everything's a pyramid scheme. And if you want to believe something enough, it can be really easy to just go with that easy answer.
And this might be a bit dark to touch on, but it's the same as like toxic relationships. If you see your friend, you know, in a relationship with someone, you see from the outside, hey, this probably isn't, you know, the best situation for you.
Yeah.
You can't have that conversation with them without them thinking you're full of crap. Like, that's not true.
You don't want the best for me.
Yeah. It's sort of like that. It's like, you know, so once they're in this, they see the big goal of becoming a millionaire, and someone comes along and says to them, hey, actually, no, you're going to turn around and be like, you're wrong.
Yeah. Do you know the phrase sunken profits?
I don't think so.
When I explain it, it will be like, oh yeah, that sounds like what it is. So it's the idea of when you're in something for longer, you're less likely to want to leave because you'll have invested more, and therefore when you leave, you'll get even less out of it. So it's like you've got into a casino, and even though you're spending more, you haven't won anything.
Yeah.
And so you want to keep going.
Absolutely.
In a relationship, like if you're 1 year in, a lot easier to be like, you know what, this wasn't for me. But after 15 years, you're like, wow, I've invested so much into this to come up with nothing. I'm going to look like such a fool, which is an awful, awful mentality to have. Absolutely. And you could totally have that with the business as well.
Definitely.
Were you going to touch on something there?
I was just going to have an example of I don't do stocks. I don't know anything about stocks. And one time I was like talking to Jake. He's all about it. And I was like, oh, why not? He said to me, only invest what you're willing to lose. And I was like, all right. And I had $800 and I was like, done, put it in. And it was a company that I like thought had a really good business idea. Yeah. And I've just seen it in my account, and it's like, I'm pretty sure it's in a trading hold, and it's been like that for months. And it's like, I've got $56 in it. And I'm like, can I even sell that? Oh, well, damage is done. What's $56? I'll just stay. Like, I don't even know. I don't even remember any of my login stuff. Like, shame on me, I know. But I just watched it. I remember when it was like 500. I remember when it was like 200. And I was like, eh.
It could get better.
I lost it. But yeah, I invested. And
there we go.
Profits.
Yeah, that's your own wonderful example of sunken profits right there. Yeah. Okay, so the last one we have on this list is time and energy. Followers are expected to dedicate huge amounts of time and energy, and often money, to the cult to the exclusion of their own lives, interests, jobs, and families.
That sounds like a big tick.
Yeah, job in this case doesn't count because the cult would be Arbonne, and therefore it is the job.
Yeah.
But it becomes a way of being your interest, of being your life, of being the only thing you talk about with your family. And, hey, mum, do you want to try this new product? Fizz sticks are great. They're the best. What do you mean I'm hyper all the time? It's not the caffeine.
No.
Couldn't it be that? It smells like orange. Woo! So that was the characteristics of a cult. And so you can see that Arbonne matches a few of them, but like 4 out of 8 isn't really a cult, I guess, in my mind. And especially like it's not, well, I'd say it's not an extremely damaging cult, but the deeper and deeper you get into it and the more of these cult-like characteristics you start to embody, the more damage it can do to you, can do to your relationships, the more damage it can do to you financially. It can be really, really, really bad if you get deep into it. And of course, Arbonne's not the only one to look out for. So please think about these characteristics in terms of other MLMs or other businesses or other opportunities that are presented to you. And use your head more than your heart. Talk to other people if you're thinking about getting into these things. And if something sounds too good to be true, it probably is. Yeah. If something feels wrong in your gut, it probably is. So that, I think, wraps it up for Arbonne.
Oof. Damn.
If anyone wants me to go into more of a deep dive about the psychology of these things, speak to people that were involved, then I'll totally find it. We'll go on our YouTube or another podcast episode, who knows, but there are also some really, really great YouTube channels, podcasts that already exist that deep dive into Arbonne, other MLMs, and a lot of these people are ex-MLM people that have left, gone to the good side, and will share their experiences. There's also a really great LuLaRoe documentary, which I'd never heard of beforehand. Have you watched it now?
No, I haven't watched it yet. I'm sorry, I'm a bad friend, but
no, it's fine. Look, it's a 4-hour
it's a lot
thing that could be less, but it is really interesting. And there's a few things about LuLaRoe that make it more culty than Arbonne, which you can find out for yourselves. But
lovely.
From the outside, it probably looks much the same because it just looks like a bunch of people selling leggings online, but it is a good deal deeper than that.
Very good.
Okay, let's wrap it up there. Mikaela, do you care to walk us out of this? Walk us out? Ooh.
Sure thing. Okay, I also just want to touch on this fact that everything on here is just our opinions. Yes, there is still some facts that we have taken from Arbonne themselves. But yeah, so just take everything as you will. Do your own research, as Chloe said. But yes, this is just our opinions and a little bit of our research. So
yes, thank you. Good to make that clear.
No, that's okay. No suing. We don't have money. If you sue us, we have no money.
We have nothing. We are people that spent like $200 on microphones.
Yeah, and we're just
decided to tell you about it.
Having a little chit chat.
Little chit chat. No one's listening to this. What?
Yes. If you enjoyed today's show, we would love it if you could leave us a review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. You can follow the podcast on Instagram at greengirls.podcast. If you'd like to follow Chloe on Instagram, that's at BeKindCoco. And if you'd like to follow myself, it's at Mikaela Hoffman or at Retro Kitty Vintage, which I promise will be there soon. If you would like to email us to become a sponsor or for any reason, you can do this via greengirlspodcast@gmail.com. And we have mentioned a few times about Patreon. It is in the works, so if you would like to support us further, we'll give you some extra content every month. And yeah, that's all for now. Look out for new episodes every other Wednesday, because on Wednesdays we podcast. We hope you enjoyed listening to our ramblings today, and until next time, it doesn't matter if you take it slow, it matters that you take a step. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.